Hello and welcome. Today we are going to be talking about dollar store crafts, DIYs, and decorating tips. I found some incredible things at the dollar store and I am really excited to show you how I use them in my home, as well as inspire you with a few DIYs and tutorials. Before we get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Jenneca, and I make home-centered content designed to inspire creativity and resourcefulness. Things like DIY, decorating, crafting, and organization. And today we have a little bit of crafting and decorating to do, so let's jump right into it. My first dollar store DIY is making a wreath. I love these brass wreath rings at the dollar store, so I grabbed some as well as some sprigs that I thought were beautiful. I got 4 different sprigs and a roll of garland, and this lasted me for 2 wreaths plus some extra. So I am just going to be decorating half of the wreath and leaving the top half exposed. I just think it's really elegant and kind of beautiful. It's a little bit more minimal, but I like the look of it. So I wrapped it in garland on the bottom half first, and then I'm just adding some sprigs. I'm going to gather them in the middle, and I'm just attaching everything with some wire. I already had this wire, but I do think the dollar store does have wire. I also added some wire about halfway up just to really secure my pieces, and then I'm just going to be tucking in these sprigs throughout, both behind and in front, and just making it look really full on the bottom. I also found these cute little berries, and one package lasted me for 2 wreaths because I didn't need very many, so they already have wire attached to them, so I just secured them to the wreath and kind of filled in any empty spaces, and I love how they look. I also found these adorable snowflakes. They come in a pack, and I am just attaching that right in the middle so that you can't see the wire and the end of the stems where I gathered everything, and this will just really draw your eye to the center where all the foliage is coming together. Again, I attached that with wire, and this is the final result. I thought it would kind of look really cute, maybe on the back of a chair. Originally, I was going to hang it on my pantry door, but look how cute this is. So I ended up tying it on with some ribbon, and I think I want to make more for all the chairs. I don't know, it's kind of extra, but kind of fun. It just adds a little touch of color to our dining room. Speaking of dining rooms, let's add a centerpiece to that table. The dollar store is really up to their game because look at these candlesticks and candlestick holders that I found. I'm also going to be using those red berries. I put the candlesticks and the candles on my table. Here I only have 3. I did end up adding one more. The white candle I already had on hand, and I'm just adding some eucalyptus leaves that I already had, as well as those little red berries. And this DIY was so simple. It took me hardly any time at all, under 10 minutes, and I love how it turned out. I think it's classy and beautiful and simple, and everything I would want in a centerpiece. Next, I want to add some decor to the top of our bookshelf, so I picked up some silver bells as well as some snowflakes, and I'm just going to add them to this garland. I also grabbed these bigger snowflakes. They are so beautiful. I love the little crystal looking specks in them, so I decided to grab some fishing wire and attach it to a thumbtack and just hang that from the ceiling right above the bookshelf. Also a very simple DIY, and look how elegant it turned out. I didn't want tons of color because there's already so much color on our bookshelf, but I think this area is really beautiful, and right in front of that window over to the left is where our Christmas tree will be going eventually, so I just wanted to keep it nice and simple. I also found these beautiful wooden snowflakes. They're huge, and I was going to paint them, but once I put them in my dining room, I loved the way they matched the wood on the table, so I actually ended up just hanging them from the ceiling of our little bay window. I did them at staggering lengths, attaching some to fishing wire, but again, just with thumbtacks, and I really like the look of this area. I think it ties in the neutral tones and colors and just creates a very elegant, beautiful space. For this next DIY, I grabbed a little foam Christmas tree from the Dollar Tree and some felt that my mom had given me. I got two different colors, a dark green and a light green. She just had this extra on hand and wasn't using it, so I cut out a bunch of circles, like a ton of circles. This is a moment where I just threw on a Hallmark movie and went to town. Once I had a lot of dark green and light green circles about the same size, they weren't perfect, but that didn't really matter. I grabbed some pins and I am just going to be sticking the circles onto the foam with these pins. So I'm going to do a row of dark green and then a row of light green. And I'm just overlapping them slightly so it gives kind of a layered look here. Notice that I'm just adding one little layer at a time, and I am overlapping each layer to make it look like the needles are coming out. Added one circle and one pin to the very top to finish it off, and I love this one. It was such a fun project, and I think it turned out actually really cute. I have some bigger styrofoam trees, so I think I am going to make these in staggering heights and make a little forest. My next project was some fabric Christmas garland, so I grabbed an 8-foot rope from the dollar store as well as some wooden ornaments. They have all different kinds, and I made several different garlands, but my favorite one ended up being the snowflake garland. Just as a heads up, I thought it looked the cutest. So I also grabbed some bed sheets, curtains, and a tablecloth from the thrift store for super cheap, and I just cut them up into strips. I'm actually making a ton of these because I'm going to be selling them in my shop, so I needed a lot of fabric, and this was the perfect way to go. Next, I just grabbed each color, and I just tied one strip on in a pattern, and then I left a space in between each clump. So I would tie one of each color, and then a space for the ornament, and then another clump, and then a space clump, so on and so forth, until my garland looked something like this. I also added on my wooden ornaments in between each clump of fabric, and I really love how this turned out. There are a lot of different ways you could use this. You could put it on a fireplace, on a banister. I added one to my banister going up my stairs, as well as our kitchen window. I added some extra garland and lights to it just to really fill it in, and I thought it was a fun, unique Christmas garland. I hope you got some inspiration from these DIYs or tutorials. If you have some good ideas, please share them in the comments below because we're all here to learn from each other. I have so much more Christmas content coming your way, including more decorating, crafting, gift ideas, gift wrapping ideas, old-fashioned Christmas ideas, and just a lot of fun stuff. I love this time of year, and we are going to have a blast here on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, your support would mean the world, so hit like and subscribe. I post videos every week, and this Christmas season I have a lot more videos planned, so you might be getting a few other videos sprinkled in throughout the week, so stay tuned. If you want to turn on your notifications, then you'll know when a new video comes out. I am so grateful for you guys and your support. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you again and again. I love being able to create content for you guys, and I will see you in the next video.